From Dannyland Studios, my name is Joey Helpish, and this is Koala Sampler for the iPad. I'm going to be doing some videos on this app, some for the iPad, some for the iPhone. This one specifically is for using your iPad with some sort of audio interface plugged in. So I have my iPad Pro and my USB mixer is plugged into it, and in that USB mixer is my microphone and an iPhone, and we're going to play some stuff off the iPhone and sample it. So there's three sections here. There's the sample, the sequence, and then the performance. There's 4 banks. Each one has 16 pads, and when you press down on a pad in sample mode, it records. So do 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 do. And then we'll just go ahead and delete that. So we're going to play some music. I just found some jazz in C major, and then we're going to sample it. And what we're going to do is we're going to count out the beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to press down on each beat as we're listening to it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I better turn my microphone down so it doesn't sample the microphone too. Okay, we'll stop that and you'll see we have okay, so we've got these, and then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into edit mode. You see that's comes in a little late where it actually starts. It's like right here. So I'm just going to take this. I kind of like that knock. And then at the end, I'll take that away. That kick comes a little late. There we go. Trim this thing up. Make it a little pretty. Okay, so now we have these clean samples. Oh, all right. So now we're going to go into the sequencer now. I'm going to go ahead and hit the BPM. I'm going to tap out something like da, 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 da. All right. And it's going to, by default, record 1 bar. We're going to just go ahead and do 2 bars. And see, we're following this right here. This is our little loop. Okay, that feels like the root note at the beginning. Like that. Okay, we're going to record it. Now let's just clear that. It was a little off. stop recording. And then we're going to take this and we're going to click on it and hold it and drag it over here. So now we have 2 copies of this little loop. We're going to leave this one alone, and then we're going to come over here and we're going to build on top of it. So we're going to go to another pad. We're going to go back over to sample. And then let's stop this for a minute. And then I'm going to go over to YouTube and I'm going to find some drums. So I'm just going to go drum beat.
Meditate with your screen locked.
Oh,
Start a
yes,
free trial
meditate with your
YouTube
screen
Premium.
locked. Someday I won't be so cheap and I'll get those ads taken away. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing and we're going to pull out bits of the drum beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn the mic off. Okay, and then we're going to edit this a little bit. Okay, now we're going to come back here. Okay, I'll record that. All right. Okay, and then we're going to do one more thing. Just for you, Dusty. I'm going to go to Groovebox. I'm going to go to that third bank. Stop that. I'm going to come here. I'm just going to use the retro bass. Yeah, let's start there. I'm not sure if what I'm going to use as far as bass, but I'm going to just sample this note. So there's a little click at the beginning. All right, so now we have this. We have just one note. We're going to go to the edit and we're going to normalize it. Boom, look at that. We can probably take it down a little bit, but we're going to all right, so now we have some super bass. Maybe it's a little too loud. Okay. But now we're going to do a trick. We're going to see this keyboard right here. Boom. So now that red, that's our root note. We're going to put this into the major. Ooh, I like that. So you know what I'm going to do? Back over here, I'm going to press and hold. I'm going to, yeah, it's in sample. So now I have 2 of them. And one of them I'm going to do bass. There it is. That little. Now I'm going to go back over to the second one. Yeah. Oops. All right, so I just undid those notes, and I'm going to come back in here. Okay. Yeah. Chat. One microphone chat. Y'all don't want to get with my SCX. Too complex. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you get the point. All right, so there you go. Now, what do we do with this stuff? Now, there's a few things we can do. We can keep building out these different sections. We can go between them. And then we can go to performance mode. And that kind of thing. The other thing we can do, so we can go over here to our little file thing and we can go to export. We have all kinds of options. We can export all the samples. We can export the current loop. We can export all the loops. We can share this koala song, or we can export it as an Ableton Live set and bring it over into Ableton. So there you go. All kinds of stuff. Something that I've been using this for a lot. This is why I saved this guy. Okay, we're at 123 beats per minute. We've got this little loop. We're going to go ahead and go to export. Export current loop. Of course, I would have a crash. All right. All right, let's try it again. We're going to export current loop. And it's going to, by default, number it and put the BPM in the thing. We're just going to let it do that. And we're going to save it to files. And we're going to go ahead and put it in on my iPad. And then in GarageBand for iOS. And then this nifty little folder, GarageBand file transfer. That was loop 0, 123 beats per minute, I think. So now we're going to go to GarageBand, and we're going, since we already know what the BPM is, we're going to put it in the BPM 123, and we're going to open up our little loop library, and then we're going to look for it. There it is. We're going to just drag that over, and then we're going to tap on it and hit loop. Now we can add GarageBand things over it. Like the beat sequencer. And since this video, while it may be going out to all the world, I'm really making it for Dusty. And so let's go to, where was it? Oh, Vision and Verse is this new pack. And then Dusty Memories. I love this drum kit. Actually, There we go. Okay, what just happened there is that GarageBand has this ridiculous thing where when you do a beat sequencer, if you don't put an instrument down, it will automatically make a beat for you, and I just don't like that. So, okay, we'll record that real quick. Boom. And so here's the thing. Here's why when I'm sampling, I try to, especially I can kind of figure it out. And once you are at a certain point, with music theory, you can kind of figure out what key a sample is in. But what's great about YouTube is that you can find stuff that's labeled in the key. So I know that this is in the key of C major. And so I can pull this thing up. Why not? Let's just record that. So I know it's in C. And I can just keep layering thing up. I can even, why not? I'm gonna go pick a guitar. We'll go to notes. We'll put this thing in a major key. And then we'll just make some vocals over it. I just made a beat from an app named after koalas. I don't really understand why it's called that. I just made a beat from an app named after koalas. I don't really understand why it's called that. I just made a beat from an app named after koalas. I don't really understand why it's called that. I just made a beat from an app named after koalas. I don't really understand why it's called that. I just made a beat from an app named after koalas. I don't really understand why it's called that. I just made a beat from an app named after koalas. I don't really understand why it's called that. Thank you so much for indulging me on this little koala experience. Hugs and wishes. Have a dandy day.